Yeah, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the JTS podcast. Today I'm here with Tom,
Hey.
James,
What's up, people?
and we've got a special guest for the second episode in, which is Dean. So today, obviously, we thought we'd bring in a guest. Obviously, it's been my guest of choice, which I'm very grateful to have Dean on the podcast. We're just going to basically start off by talking how Dean's got involved with TPC. Obviously, we'll talk some game-related stuff as well. And just, general chit-chat. So, Dean, first question. How did you join TPC?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, by the way.
No worries.
It's all right.
Basically, it just started back in the day. Like, the first person I came across was Arthur, streamer on YouTube. And just through chatting to him through his chat, playing a few games with him, got to know back then when I suppose when it was originals, if you want to call it. He just introduced me to everyone. Tom, in good Nick, shout out, and Jack as well. Then just got to know all of them. Kind of, we tried to give it a go the first time, of course. Things beyond our control, it didn't work out. Then here we are, version 2.
Well, fair enough. Right, so moving away from Dean for a second, we're going to talk gaming related. So, what was the first game everyone played, if you can remember?
I remember.
Really going to show my age now.
Yeah, I was going to say Dean played.
He was on the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was close. It was actually the old Amiga PC. It was the first game I can ever remember playing on 3.5-inch floppy disks.
Oh, mad.
We said PG. Let's talk about floppy
And
disks.
you had about 20 discs to play one game. So when you got so far in the story, to take the disc out, pop in a new one, wait for like 5 minutes for the new disc to load in, to play like 10 minutes of the game, and then keep
My dad used to say.
over and over again.
That's mad. For those who don't know, Dean was born when the year started 1/8, so this is quite a long time ago. This is actually before people knew how to like send emails and that.
Typewriters were around.
Carrier pigeon was basically Amazon Prime back then.
We're only about 5 minutes in. This has got very ageist already.
Oh man, I think the earliest game I remember. Oh, go on, James. Go on.
No, you go. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, you go.
Oh man, I remember either playing Pokemon Red was one of the first I remember playing.
I've got that up there.
Yeah, mine's on my side as well.
So I'm young, but I'm old at the same time.
I hear
Cultured.
that. Either Pokemon Red. I remember playing. Now that's what I call football with my dad. Yeah. And I remember playing Streets of Rage on the Mega Drive. That was so much fun. I didn't know what I was doing, but I loved that game. That was so good, man.
Still with your FIFA now, innit? Don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing. I was like, oh, walkout. There we go. That's my FIFA. That's my experience.
I didn't know what walkout was.
Oh man, that's all good. But yeah, those are probably the first three I remember. Pokemon is the one that's probably stuck with me the most because now that's why I call football is terrible. You could dive in that though. That was sick. You could get other people sent off because you could like L2 was dive. That was amazing.
Yeah. What about you, James?
God, you know, I can't even remember. I think the first ever. I think I was in hospital. A bit of a sad story. But I played a GameCube. I can't remember what game it was. And then I got a Nintendo. No, I got a Game Boy. And I think my first like actual proper game I owned myself was in the Game Boy FIFA 03, where you could like slide tackle the goalies. Yeah. And then and then after that I went to my cousins and played FIFA 98 World Cup. So I can say I played one before I was born. So pretty cool.
Before you were born, 98.
Yeah.
No.
I remember owning that on the PlayStation 1.
Dean was 40.
I was 8. There you go. People from
yeah, it's quite mental. Like, I can't remember, but I've had like all the consoles. I can flex that. Apart from the black Xbox, like the first ever black Xbox, I can say I've had all the consoles. But my PS1 didn't last very far.
I was going to ask, like, what was the first console you ever owned? Because for me myself, it was a Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah.
For me myself, it would have been the old NES.
You know, my favourite console I've ever played was Nintendo 64. My form tutor in secondary school had one. He used to bring it in, like at December and stuff, and we used to play the Mario Kart on it on the projector. It was such bad graphics, but it was so fun.
Well, I suppose back then that would have been like the height of graphics.
That would have been really good, yeah, because it was like the nearest to 3D that they had. Really, that was like proper 3D because you were driving into oncoming stuff, which is like not really done before that I can think of, quite in that way anyway.
Just was saying that, it just shows you how far game graphics have come in such a relatively short period of time.
Yeah,
because that was going to be my next topic as well. Speaking about how next gen is, obviously I don't own next gen, but obviously I know James and Tom have it. Do you have it?
No, I'm too poor. My daughter spends all my money for me. I don't get a chance.
She got PS5.
Just call your daughter Next Gen.
Next gen.
That just sounds a little bit dodgy.
No, because I was going to say, like, what's the difference between like all the graphics and the gameplay and whatnot for like specific games?
I don't even know. I just feel like the visuals is a bit more fluent and the gameplay feels a bit more fluent. But in terms of like the actual gameplay, obviously it's a couple patches behind PS4. I think PS5 gameplay. I don't know.
I think it's one patch behind. I think we get the patches later. The thing is, if you play the PS4 version on the PS5 of FIFA specifically, I think you play the PS4 patch, which for me is quite odd because if you don't, then you're playing against people on one patch that then you don't have the patch, but you can also stay on the same console and play 2 different patches of the game, which I think is a bit flawed personally. So like the bridge, for example, in the PS4 version is patched, but on the PS5 version it still feels pretty good. It's like you have to kind of cater your gameplay to which version you're playing. So I'm trying less and less to play the PS4 version now, so I'm used to the PS5.
Yeah.
It's just the PS5 as well. It's so annoying because the matchmaking is still so dodgy on it. Where the PS4, I feel like that is a lot better matchmaking. Like when I watch PS4 streams, they'll come up against teams like the same rating and everything. But mine, I'm just consistent Pele's.
There's so few people, I think, in comparison. I think that's a massive part of it because some people get, you know, FIFA later into the year. They get it like near Christmas time or whatever, or a lot of people get it like January because obviously it goes on sale in January quite often. Like you get like £10 off it or something. So I think a lot of people get it. And if you add that into the fact that not everyone has the PS5 because of how low the supply's been, the PS4 like audience, the amount of players, the average, this is no disrespect to people because I would include myself in a lower average player. I've just got a good team that helps me out. I think that average players. Well, I mean, I'm just being honest about it.
You beat me.
Sorry.
You beat me at FIFA.
I did. The one game that we ever played against each other. But I'd say the average player is like a slightly lower quality team at least, or like James said, the amount of icons you play in PS5 version is crazy. I don't think I've played anyone with a team of the year when I've played on the PS4 version. But I'd say like every other game on PS5 you come up against the team of the year. Like it is actually ridiculous.
I think everyone PS5s that have full sended for the PS5, they can probably spend their life savings on FIFA and still be alright. So
I
was just lucky that, you know, my nan wanted to buy it for Christmas, so it's fine. Cheers, Nan.
It's very fortunate for you.
Yeah, like the whole gaming front, like it's an interesting topic. Do we all like go through and say like favourite games or favourite franchises or something? I don't know. No.
Well, yeah, that's a good assumption. Or
I feel like Tom would be Pokemon. I don't know.
Oh, 100%. I'd be lying to myself if I said there's a game franchise or whatever that I prefer more than Pokemon. It's probably what I've spent most. Bear in mind, I stream and like make content probably about 10 hours of a day on FIFA.
Yeah.
I'd still probably say that I've played more Pokemon in my life than I have FIFA.
You did do Pokemon though for a bit, didn't you? I actually enjoyed that series.
Just for a little bit. I mean, I did that for me more than like numbers because it didn't do well on numbers, but FIFA was like on its backside. And shout out to Jack, by the way, for helping me out with that because I didn't know how to do it. But again, it's the kind of thing that I might bring back for, you know, like member streams and stuff if people want to see it. Because I like doing it, so that kind of stuff that if people enjoy it, like you said, you enjoyed it. If people enjoy it, then it's the kind of thing I do all the time because I do enjoy it a lot.
What was your favourite Pokemon game?
Probably like Gen 3, so like Sapphire, Emerald. That like Gen was probably the one that I played the most.
Got them up there as well.
Hey, see, you know it. But I mean, I slightly traumatized by Sapphire because I played it for I think it was like just short of 2,000 hours, and I used to go to like a holiday club when I was younger, and a kid stole it, and I no longer have it, and I'm really upset.
Should we send you it?
Yeah, go on, safe.
Well, so on another change of topic, let's talk about what everyone's situations are like at the moment. So obviously we've been hit with this pandemic, and we're stuck in another lockdown. How are we all finding ourselves at the moment?
Bored.
That's one word answer. Say it.
Done.
Put it
Right, next topic.
I don't know. I feel like it's
like, how do you feel mentally? How do you feel when you stream? How do you feel around those that you're with?
I definitely feel
bubble?
streaming helps, and the
Yeah.
fact I can have that bond with, like, say with my dad, he'll come and sit with me and stream. Like that makes me feel good because he just makes everyone laugh because he tries to be funny.
Yeah.
But that having that with you as well, and obviously your parents you can have banter with. Obviously you got Bo here now as well for 2 weeks. That would be a nice little thing. So like just having people around you who understand the situation like you as well, and like you guys as well. When you drop a message, I'll just talk to you guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's harder this time round than the first one round because you had sun, you go sit outside, you go for a walk, and you wouldn't really be cold or anything. Obviously, you can still do that now, but you are going to freeze your bits off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel this time round it's a little bit harder, but as long as you know you've got your people to go to and the connections, and you stay speaking and open to people and get your feelings out there, then you will be okay.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. What about yourself, Dean? Like, obviously, you mentioned that you're bored, but anything to elaborate off of that?
Well, I guess my experience is a little different because the fact I'm in a different country from you guys. If anybody didn't know, I live in Ireland. So we've been in lockdown since like just after Christmas.
Yeah.
And we've been in, out, and it's just so repetitive at this stage. Because like we relax it, people kind of take advantage of it. Right, we've been locked down so much. It's like everybody's just like, no, we're going out, we're going to do stuff. Everybody straight away starts meeting up in large groups again. Then they wonder 2-3 weeks later why we're back in the same situation.
Yeah.
So it's just gotten so repetitive and it's just so boring at this stage that we literally can't do anything.
Yeah.
The only place that I go to is like Tesco, or if I'm going to pick up my daughter and I've got her for a little while. Other than that, it's just like the same routine over and over again.
Yeah. No, that's
And
totally understandable.
we've just been told that our lockdowns, like full level 5 restrictions, is getting extended till April.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how many more months is that?
So we're middle of February now, so March. So about another 2.5
2 months.
of lockdown.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
man.
hopefully, the only positive you can think of that is that if people stick to what they need to, then hopefully it will be.
Oh, well, I'm one of these where if like statistically anyway here, it's been shown to severely reduce the spread of the virus, and our like death count is like way down. So I'm of the mind if it helps, then I'm willing to put up with, the bad, because I know in the long term we'll hopefully get back to normality quicker. Or whatever normality is going to be after all this.
Yeah. So we say normality, like when people say want to get back to normal, but if you think of it, because of this pandemic, what we were living in before was not normal. It was just what we thought was normal, because the way that I spoke about parents as well. So say there's been like a fun fair or something like that, you get on, say, a waltzer, and so many people have touched them bars, not sanitized it, nothing. You'll go eat from a place that everyone's touched or anything. You'll go drink from somewhere, and you've got all them germs in your hand. And think, how do we not even become slightly ill then? So it just raises your mind to think that we did all of that, and now we've gone to this. Where I personally, if I went out to like a bar, I wouldn't want to be touching the bar, getting my drinks and everything. That's why they probably bring everything to you, because you don't know what is out there now because of this.
Yeah.
What
about yourself, Tom?
I agree that this has been a tougher lockdown, for sure. I think this has been way harder. I mean, you guys would know, like, my situation. Obviously, I was with Claire for the majority of the first lockdown, so I went and actually, like, lived with Claire and her parents and her brother. But this lockdown, again, I know it's slightly different, and I know that people know that things have slightly changed. But, like, from my point of view and, like, my situation, the mental health bubbles now don't exist for people that live with other people. So because Claire lives with her family, she's not allowed mental health bubble, because I think the terminology is, if you live with people that aren't of the same age as you, then you don't qualify for a mental health bubble now, which changed a little bit recently, which is why now I can't see Claire at all, which is which sucks. Obviously I have to work from here because I've got all of my stuff, and now my setup is getting to a point that I'm really happy with, and I'm going to keep it like this relatively long term, like bar a couple of changes. it's not easy for me to just pick stuff up again and go and stay with her. I also don't think actually that's something we can do at the moment, technically. But also likewise for her, she's got her own thing. She works from home as well, and it's just difficult, you know. I mean, I'm still consider myself lucky. The fact, you know, we're still here. I'm still able to work. I'm still able to do my thing. As is Claire. Yeah. We're both healthy, and our families, knock on wood, are healthy too. We've had a couple of scares. Obviously, I've had it. But on the majority, there was only really 1 or 2 situations that were quite worrying for us, COVID-wise, in our families. But otherwise, you know, as tough as it's been, I know people have got it harder. And I agree with what James said as well, being able to stream and have that community feel and still being able to interact with people. Okay, sure, you're not going out and, you know, going to the park and playing football, or you're going out and having a meal or whatever, but there's still that level of interaction. You're still meeting new people, and it's been tough, but like Dean said, if this is what it takes to lower numbers and have things back to I've just realised I'm the only person you guys can't see, but air quotes, normality, right, or whatever the new normal is going to be. Like, I think wearing face masks is going to be something that's going to happen for a few years from now. Even if we go down to like a tier 1 or non-tiered system, I think face masks will become the new normality, because I think people will just be very careful with it. I think, and if that leads to a longer period without things like this happening again, without a new COVID or whatever, then fine by me. I'd much rather wear a mask for 10 minutes walking around a shop than get COVID again.
So. Yeah, exactly that. Obviously, safety over risking, obviously, people's lives and obviously the people that you live with. That's why I haven't left the house. I haven't left the house in, say, like 2-3 months. Like, I don't go out. I'm literally indoors all day.
That answers the question with how long Shane's in the sun, for those who ask on Twitter.
Yeah, basically, I don't go outside. I'm usually indoors with the kids. Obviously, I help Mackenzie do his homework. I deal with Zach from time to time. So, I mean, that's pretty much my day in, day out. Like, I'm literally there to benefit my kids, and then I stream in the evening, and obviously try and what's the word? Pursue it as a hobby to a better extent.
Yeah. The thing is, what Tom said as well about family, and obviously I'm not going to go too much into detail what happened with my family, because it just, I don't know, makes you a bit emotional. But when you've seen what this can do, it really does open your eyes to think how selfish some people can be that aren't sticking to the restrictions. Because of my family, through all the lockdowns, we've not gone out, we've sanitized every time we've gone out, we've worn masks, we've never done anything to ever jeopardize ourselves. And because of the things, obviously my mum works in a school, and obviously that happened, and then what happened after that, you guys know anyway. It just opens your eyes to see how deadly this can be. And for people that say, no, it's just the flu or it's just the cold, you have so many people saying that because they're so narrow-minded. It just really does make you wonder, like, what is wrong with people that they can't just stay inside. So many people have complained just, life, or like people don't enjoy their jobs and that, and if they can't go to their job, stay inside. I was thinking before this happened, like, I've got to go to work. Like, I miss working. Like, I miss the buzz from going and coaching children and like just having fun with doing what I'm doing. And most of the time I'm assisting, but it's still nice to go, and it gives you a routine, a schedule, and I just do miss that. But like I said, once you've actually seen it firsthand, what you can do. Obviously I've had it, and obviously the family's had it. It's like, I don't know, it's just eye-opening, if you know. I don't want to get too deep into this topic because we don't want to keep it light-hearted, but you know what I'm saying?
No, that's 100% agreeable. And yet again, obviously you three have had the virus. I've not, so I haven't experienced it. I haven't got no family members that have experienced it. So obviously when it comes to that day, I'm probably going to be shook. Like, to say the least.
It does, like, for me anyway, it does sap all your energy. Like, for about 3 days, I was bad.
Like, eating dinner for me was really hard.
Yeah.
Because you got to, like, breathe out, exhale, inhale, walking up the stairs felt like a mission. And for someone that did daily workouts and fitness, I felt like I was, like, I felt like I went from David Hasselhoff to, like, a hedgehog. That's what I felt like.
It's the mental challenge.
Yeah, like, it's just, I think it's more, like, physically you feel drained, but as long as mentally you can keep your mind ticking, knowing that it will get better. I think that's the hardest thing for my dad, because obviously he doesn't really speak a lot about what happened. And when he did experience what happened, obviously I spoke to you two. It's like for him, I was having to reassure him that it will get better. It's just you've got to just cope with it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like, it's just scary. That whole thing. It's very scary.
There's a slight little. It's on the same topic, but slight difference to it. Have you guys? So Dean and James. I don't know if they're doing it in Ireland, Dean, but they're doing it in England. I got an email because obviously I'm on the NHS thing as having had it, etc., etc. I've been asked to go and like give blood. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, my dad got asked that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's to help with like antibodies and stuff for the vaccine and stuff. So it's
sorry.
Go on.
No, I was just going to ask you about giving blood. Well, I actually can't give blood in Ireland.
Right.
Because when I lived in Scotland when I was little, I grew up in Scotland when there was the BSE, the CJD outbreak, and also the foot and mouth. So because I could potentially carry stuff from that, even though it might not be bad and won't affect me, it could cause a reaction in someone else, and it would cost like the Irish version of the NHS, the HSE, too much to screen my blood. So I'm actually ineligible to do it over here.
Fair
so
enough.
I wouldn't know.
That makes sense. But yeah, I just wondered people's thoughts on that. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is one thing that I hate needles, right? I'll be brutally honest with you. I'm not a needles person, right? And
just looking at them.
Sorry?
Looking at needles is the worst, I think.
Mate, I'm honestly, because obviously I've got health conditions and stuff that mean I have to go checkups all the time. When I go and they have to like take blood and stuff as samples, mate, I go like green. Like I am just bad with needles. I just can't deal with it. But I was just wondering if people had heard about this or seen this stuff. It was just I got like an email about it, and then like the next day I saw it on Twitter. I think it was QPR tweet about it or something like that, but I saw it on Twitter. I was just wondering if other people had an email as well.
I think my dad got an email about it.
Yeah.
But the thing with the antibodies, it's weird because with you had to do that test. Like there was a test ages ago where you could tell if you had the antibodies. And it come back and my dad had it before he properly got bad.
Right.
And that's one thing that confused me because he's supposed to have the long long blood cell antibodies for COVID, which then confused me to the fact that if he's had it before, like within his system that didn't show any symptoms, so you could say he's kind of a carrier in that aspect at that moment.
Asymptomatic.
Yeah, asymptomatic to it. But then he got really bad to it. That's what really confused me and my mum, and the fact that he has the antibodies to fight it off and he's still got that bad.
Could have just been a different strain. All it takes is just a proper nasty strain to get you.
It was when we got over from South Africa, I think it was, wasn't it? I think that's when we got it.
Right.
It was that aspect. But that's what I don't understand about this whole thing. Like, so many other countries closed their borders as soon as they knew that they were coming over.
Yeah.
Like Australia, New Zealand. But we're still letting people in from other countries, like the South African outbreak that made it a lot worse. Why are we so naive just to close the borders, stop people coming in just to ensure safety of our own citizens and residents? I just don't understand why we can't do that. What is so difficult?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at that idea, like look at Australia, New Zealand. As soon as things got bad there, shut down.
We got one case in Perth and they went on lockdown.
Yeah,
one.
And it's the same in New Zealand. They went into full lockdown for 3 months, completely shut the borders. Anybody that had New Zealand citizenship could get back into the country, but if you were just a tourist, you couldn't get in. And within 3 months, no face masks, large gatherings again, concerts, everything was back.
Yeah, they were sorted by Christmas. Probably before then, if I'm honest. But it's just, like you say, it's just mental. It just goes to show the priorities. I think that's part of it. I think, and as much as I understand, we've got to, as a country and that you've got to stay above board, and you've got to be able to have, some sort of financial viability and stuff, and otherwise jobs will be lost, businesses will be lost, and I understand that. I fully understand that, but it does get to a point where you just think, okay, but we'd be back to a relatively recognizable normal. Again, I'm doing air quotes that you guys can't see, but if we just gone, cheers, I appreciate that. If we'd just done what they'd done and gone, right, this is it, lockdown, no one's going anywhere, food can be delivered, etc., because that is a necessity and people need to deal with that. The health system stays as open as it can be to deal with cases, etc. But otherwise, stay inside unless you literally have to go out. Just stay inside. 3 months, and we'd be in a way better spot than we are now. We wouldn't be in another lockdown, like the second, third, however many blooming lockdowns it's officially been now. But I just feel like they're so inconsistent with just making a health-based decision.
Yeah, not like So obviously they're speaking about in terms of like the Prime Minister and all the government, they're just worried about the economy and like the state of shops and the whole is just gonna plummet. But surely at this rate where it's keep going up and down and rates went massive over Christmas in the winter, like that they did say, obviously I started there, sorry everyone, motorbike starting, but like illnesses in the winter do seem to rise because it's easier for the bacteria to latch onto things. So yeah, like that was supposed to happen, and like yes, it happened, but the extent that it did, and they didn't act on it as quick. Even in the first lockdown, like wearing face masks, they introduced that once the case was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Like it's just some of the decisions, and the worst thing for me personally, looking at it, social media and influencers all going out to Dubai, all these hot countries, just to get away from it, but then forgetting that they still have to come back, traveling, being on airplanes, all these other things you don't know what is where. And then, but they're saying, "Oh, sorry, it's a job." It's not a job. You're just a dick. You're going out to foreign countries, coming back, and you still got quarantine for 2 weeks. You're quarantining because it's unsafe to go out again. Just stay at home. What is so hard? You just stay in your house. I'm sorry, I'm getting angry, but it's just easy. Like,
it's fun,
I'm the youngest one here, but like, just as an aspect as well, like, it just is. Like, I don't get it.
It's like their excuses they had to go to Dubai to make a 15-minute Instagram video to do a workout routine.
Yeah, well, did you see the woman on this morning where she's on a horse? I'm a motivator. I need to go to Dubai. You're on a horse, love. No one cares. No one cares. Oh, I'm on a horse. Keep your mind ticking. Shut up. Get inside and do it from your living room.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're on a horse? If I want to see a horse, I'll drive down the way and I'll go to the farm. I'll stay in my car. Like, I don't care.
It's also one of those situations where like the government's in a no-win situation. No matter what they do, not everyone's going to be happy.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to find that balance. But so far, like even like the Irish government here, it's been so like it'll change from week to week. Sometimes it even like guidelines can change from day to day. It's like, okay, we're going to try this. Okay, it didn't work. We're going to try this, and they're not even giving reasons why they're doing stuff. It's so confusing.
Fair enough. Just to change up to another topic, we're going to move back to FIFA related. We're going to talk about Anders. Now, I've seen a lot of stuff on social media of this kid getting hate.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for the kid. I feel sorry for the kid. Like you got grown men out there that are sending death threats to him, and all this, and all over a video game, being good at a video game, it's demoralizing to some extent that people go out their own way to do that sort of stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's absurd.
And what people don't realize, he's 14.
Yeah. He's a youngster. He is a child, and you got grown people sending him death threats for being good at FIFA. It makes literally no sense to me how. Obviously, he lost. What was it this weekend?
5-1.
This weekend.
He lost 5-1, and all these death threats, all this social media monarchy it's infuriating to see. Like the kid is a youngster. He doesn't deserve the hate that he gets. I mean, I wish I could have 130 weekend league. Let alone what? How many is it?
It was like 8.
How many is it?
That 7, 8.
Is it 7 or 8? Let me just do some quick maths.
Oh, no, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? We nearly need 20.
It was 535.
Yeah, but it's about 17.
535. Well, I think no, it's probably 20. It's 22 of the weeks. So take away 2. Wasn't there 2 weeks about weekends? About 18 roughly.
Yeah, 17, 18. Yeah.
17, 18 weekends of not losing.
17 to 18.
For a 14-year-old, right, who's developing as a person, right, to play a game every week, to stream to thousands of. I know he doesn't stream for content; he just streams to watch people play. Now, a lot of people that are there, majority are looking to how he plays to try and get better. Yeah. If I was to watch him, I would like look at him to think, well, what can I do? Obviously, I can't because what he does with his pad is incredible. Like, I just think, Yeah. But like to go 30, all them weekends, you got people saying death threats. They're happy that he lost. End of the day, he's earning more money in FIFA tournaments than all these trolls will in their whole life. That's why they're targeting him, because he's gonna when he's 18, when he can actually go in tournaments, 16, 18. I can't remember which one it is.
16.
16. So in 2 years' time, when FIFA probably you don't know how it's going to be in FIFA. Like in 2 years' time, you don't know because they're ruining their game. But we spoke about it in the first one. Go watch that one. But he's going to have so much money and set for life from just playing a video game.
Yeah.
I know it's hard because he is still 14, but if he just mentally thinks them people are relevant, just them people are so sad.
I think
Just even if he lost one game, oh well.
Yeah.
Part of it is probably jealousy as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
100%. That's what it is. That's where most hate comes from online, is people just being jealous of the ability or something that somebody else has.
The thing I find kind of funny as well is you'll have all these keyboard warriors who can sit behind a fake profile picture, fake name, and they'll spam all this hate out on the keyboard. I guarantee you 99% of them, if they were right in front of them, wouldn't say a word. It'd be hard luck me, unfortunately lost. But as soon as they're behind the keyboard, that's when it all comes out.
That's what it always is, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you was to find someone that was sending you hate, like, realistically, they're just doing it because they feel in power. If you meet them in person, they're going to say crap.
Exactly.
But
if you're not going to say something to somebody's face, then just don't say it at all.
that's why social media is just can be so negative.
If you're going to be such a negative person, at least have the balls to say it to their face. Don't hide behind a fake profile picture. Do it as yourself. If you want to be negative, don't hide it. Be out about it.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. What about yourself, Tom? What do you think of the situation?
Well, I agree with pretty much everything you guys have said. Again, I don't think there's any, regardless of whether it's a football game, a game of FIFA, whatever it is, to be sent hate like that is just stupid. It's just disgusting behaviour. Let alone, that's even ignoring the fact that, like you said, he is a kid. He's a minor. It's inexcusable to do that, and I hope that people that send death threats, it's not dissimilar from when people send death threats to like Mike Dean recently or to footballers or whatever. Again, I'm just using a comparison that I know
or
of.
like racist tweets.
Yeah,
stuff
things like that.
Like...
There's no room for it.
Right.
It's just disgusting behaviour, and anyone who thinks that that's okay to do, even to do that in person, regardless of hiding behind like a fake image or whatever, you're disgusting. I've got nothing to do with you because I think it's inexcusable, and I don't think there's any place for it. But I just hope he's surrounded by good people. I hope he's got, he's got like his esports team, his management team and stuff around him. I hope they just really literally just take him under the wing and just look after him, just make sure that he's kept a little bit clear from it and stuff. But Daryl. We got two special guests.
Two special guests.
There he is.
Hello to the people.
Hello, podcast.
Hello.
How was your work?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He's got a new trim.
Fresh trim.
Come on, come and show everyone your haircut.
Look, new trim.
Oh,
My mum done it, innit?
Wife done it.
Alright, goodbye now.
Right.
Special guest, there you go.
James, you're 100% Edison this week. I'm afraid this is all down to you, bro.
Right.
Oh man.
God bless Daryl.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Long and short of it, I think it's stupid that it's happened. I think that sort of behaviour and stuff needs to be got rid of, and people just need to grow up a little bit. I think, in all honesty, I think there needs to be more punishment for it as well. I think something more needs to be done actively about it on the social media sites. I think there should be a heavier level of that account's banned now. I'll just whack and make another one real quick then, and then just jump in and do the same thing in 5 minutes. Something more needs to be done about it. But again, like we've all said, massive congrats to him, because what he's achieved is mental. To bring that level of hatred shows he's obviously done something pretty darn impressive.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, exactly. And again, he'll smash it again. He'll pull off another incredible record like that, because he's clearly good enough.
Like I don't think we'll probably ever see that again.
I reckon he'll break it. I honestly think he'll break it.
Just wait till next year, boys. Just wait till next year.
Yes, James. I'm backing it.
TPC on top. Just watch. I'll just play the
backing
game for 46 days without sleep, and I'll be alright.
Bet.
46 days without sleep. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Lots of coffee.
What a sneak.
Yes.
Sponsor,
Please sponsor this podcast.
If they want to sponsor the podcast, be happy to shout them out.
Please. 2 of us are drinking your drink right now. All right.
I'll take a sponsor of Kit Kat.
I better hide mine. I'm drinking from a rival company.
Yeah. Please can you cover that? Thank you.
Alright.
Next thing.
Can you just check out the window, really?
It's been a lot of fun anyway for today's episode. I think we're going to wrap this up here anyway. So yeah, boys, if you have enjoyed this podcast and you do want to see more, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. make sure to leave a comment of your thoughts down in the description. Anything else to say, boys, before we end?
Nah, don't think so.
Really, no.
Thanks for having me on, really.
Thanks for coming on, man.
No worries,
worries,
thank you.
mate. Obviously, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing some stuff. And
problem.
yeah, Tommy, if you want to finish the outro.
Oh, yes. Here we
There we
go.
go.
Thanks, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on the video as well. Make sure you comment down below if you've got any questions, any other people you'd like to see, any topics you want to see us talk about. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please hit that sub button, turn notifications on, and you'll be told anytime that we upload a podcast. But for now, I want to say thanks for watching. I've been Tom, James been James, Shane's been Shane, Dean's been Dean, and we'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
In a bit.